Yeah. Any feedback on the kind of calls that I'm giving on YouTube or Telegram? Is it helping? Any feedback that should be helpful for me so that I'll plan next couple of videos accordingly. So anything that need to be included, anything that need to be expected from me, any feedback is fine. Accuracy is outstanding. Indranil says, okay. Vinay Kumar, the sir is saying about 80%. Thank you, sir. Okay. All right. So any feedback that you want me to implement? Following multiple social media is very difficult. I'm more accurate than brokers. Brokers don't give you any trading calls, my dear friend. They want to generate brokerage from you. So they'll ask you to trade multiple times. All right. So if you have been following me, Bhargav, and you'll understand the accuracy is more than 80-85% of what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. All right. So Friday, as in Thursday evening for Friday, I had told that this market will not fall immediately. But for me, risk reward was not favorable. So I did some intraday positions, some overnight light bullish positions I've taken. But as and when RSI start touching 75, 80 levels on daily charts, and moreover, if you look at hourly charts, no doubt it is bullish. So bullishness is beyond question. So that is anyways, right now bullishness is there. So this market will not fall immediately. As I said, I was explaining on Thursday also that there are two kinds of falls. One is a sharp fall. The second one is where you see a lot of divergences and then there is a correction. The kind of breakout it has given after a very long time, it will not be a V-shaped fall, is what I was expecting on Thursday. Likewise, we saw a rally. I was expecting around 19,080, 90. It has exceeded what I was expecting also. But anyways, this momentum is also there in the market. But RSI at 87, 88. If you look back into the history of RSI on hourly chart above 80, 85 is pretty rare. If you want to understand that, if you change this parameter, if you go and change, let's say I will put RSI to 80 here, upper band, let's say. And so this upper line is 80 right now. So where are we right now? RSI right now is sitting above 86, 87, let's say 83, 84 rather. It made a high of 87. So what I see here is RSI above 80, if you see on hourly chart, is pretty rare occurrence, right? Even if it is 80 like this, maybe once in a while you see RSI crossing 80, but it will not sustain for a very long time. If you see this, it touched 80 here, maybe 2-3 days, and then there was a fall. Maybe again here RSI 80, 2-3 days again there was a fall. Again here RSI around 80, 80, 84, 85, some recovery and then fall. So basically what I'm saying is it needs some kind of a pullback or some kind of a sideways action here. Otherwise, risk to reward is absolutely unfavorable for any long positions around this price. Because the probability of RSI sitting above 80 is rare. Even if it sits, it is extremely overextended. So risk reward is absolutely unfavorable for me. So I need at least one of these things to happen. Either I want this currently, wherever it is sitting, I want a small consolidation, maybe Monday, Tuesday, in the next 1 or 2 days. I need some consolidation here, without which my risk reward is absolutely not favorable. Or best case, a small dip towards 19,100 or 19,050 levels. Those two scenarios will be very, very helpful for me to build any long positions. Otherwise, if I see this chart, there is no debate about bullishness around. Bullishness is certainly seen. Anybody will say markets are bullish. So markets are bullish, no doubts. We are seeing gaps after gap. So this gap will be the first line of support for me. So if I drop down to an hourly chart, or 15-minute chart, I'll be able to see the gap. So the gap is around this area. This is the gap area. So the gap usually acts as support. So 19,020, that is a very good location where I would expect this market to stabilize. So most unlikely that this market is going to give a fall immediately. It will take a while. So small dips is definitely a buying opportunity, and the dips comfortable position for me is 19,030, 40 levels. This is little difficult immediately. So 18,030, 18,040 is little difficult because we already have support here. So this will be the first line of support for me. So small dip or a consolidation. And there is some other concept which I look at where there's a short-term moving average has moved too far away from the long-term moving average. So this is a long-term moving average and the short-term moving average. The distance between these two. The distance between these two is quite far. So usually the farther a short-term moving average moves away from the long-term moving average, like this, short-term moving average, the distance between short-term and long-term moving average, as it start increasing, at some point in time, it has to converge and then diverge. Converge, diverge. This is the concept of MACD. Moving average, convergence, divergence is the indicator. So the farther it moves, the risk reward starts becoming very unfavorable for a buyer, fresh buyer. So for me, I would expect this market to give two things, either a time correction or a price correction. Price correction towards 19,000 or time correction may be sustaining above 19,100. One of these two things are required for me to build any long positions from here. Without that, I would be very scared to build any fresh long positions. Fresh long positions are absolutely not advised at this point in time, given the scenario. Is it bullish? Beyond question for now. Where is my support? Bharat, 19,000. What is the option data telling me? Is also bullish. Obviously, there is no doubts. Option data, 205% addition to the bullish side, 183% addition to the bearish side. So bullishness was actually there on Friday as well. Having said this, the highest open interest on the bullish side is 19,000. So this is the support area. So data-wise also support is around 19,000. Resistance is 19,500. So basically any dips to 19,000, gap is also around 19,000. So basically gap and data both suggesting 19,000 is a very strong support. If I'm an option writer, then we will start looking at some put trade spreads below 19,000. Right? RSI, Bhargav, RSI, just because RSI 75, 80 is there, it need not give an immediate pullback. What will tell me is risk reward is not favorable. Since you asked a question, I'm answering. It says that it is overextended. Doesn't mean that it can go, RSI can go to 93, 94 also. In very rare cases, yes, RSI can go beyond 90 also. There are cases where RSI has gone beyond 90. But the only concern is risk reward will be unfavorable. So if you want to make money, not just direction is important. You also have to understand when to enter, when not to enter. It was a very conscious decision not to enter fresh positions. Anyways, I was carrying positions for a long time, so I keep doing it. Intraday, I took some positions and I exited. I carried very light positions to the weekend. Otherwise, RSI, there is no rule that RSI, if it is 75, 80, it has to fall immediately. It can touch 90 also. But how many times in the last, let's say if RSI touches 80, 10 times, only maybe once it might push from 80 to 90. 90% of times RSI at 80, it will make a top. So there might be one odd case where it is pushing towards 84, 85, 86. So not necessarily it has to give a immediate fall. But as a trader, you should also consider risk to reward ratio. Right? Where do I enter? Is it worth entering? Where is my risk? That also matters. So when it comes to direction, it was saying buy. When it comes to risk reward, it was saying no. That is what the take is. So when it comes to this, 19,000 becomes a very strong support. 19,500 is where next writing is happening. So it is little far away. So 19,000 is where A decent support will come from technicals and data as well. So we'll hold on to bullish position in terms of Nifty, in terms of Bank Nifty. Finally, and if you remember, I called that market Bank Nifty is bullish even before this breakout, and a lot of people started calling because of this higher low. I've explained very clearly this higher low, because from here the seller pushed to this level. Second time the seller did not push to the bottom. There was some gap here. This gap was enough for me to call that this market is bullish. I was expecting 44,000 and I said we have to see how the markets behave at 44,000. Luckily on that day we broke out. Right? So every small nuances in the chart reading is very, very important. So there is a lot to chart reading. So if you are reading it properly, you will not be on the wrong side of the market. Having said this, again, if I look at daily charts on Bank Nifty finally managed to make a new high. We are above 44,500. 44,500 is a very strong resistance. Now, whatever was a resistance should start becoming support. So 44,500 becomes a support area for Bank Nifty. So dips to 44,500 or worst case, this gap, which is 44,200. So 44,500 becomes the first line of support. Next support is 44,200. So as long as 44,500, 200 is still intact, we'll have to stick on to buy on dips. My only concern again is an overextended RSI levels with divergences also here. So a time correction or a price correction is due around this area. So this should be the support area. And if you see this, the difference between the short-term and long-term moving average is quite large. It is unfavorable for any fresh long positions around here. But are you saying it will not go up? It might go up, but I don't want to participate. Saying no to a trade is also a decision that you have to take. Right? Because the correction will also be steep enough. It'll be because if somebody start booking out profits here, it will be a sharp fall. So from risk reward per se, I would have to be careful about any fresh long positions at this level is what I'm saying. Support is here. Worst case support is around 44,200, which comes from the old resistance. We have been focusing on 44,200 for a very long time, if you remember. So that should be the second line of support area. In terms of option data, no doubts, it is bullish. 44,000 will become your new support area. Okay, there is a straddle being written. They're rating a straddle. Somebody is so aggressive that he's rating a 44,500. Okay, 44,000 is what we are expecting also, right? Yeah. 44,500 is a support area, no doubts. Rating on the bearish side is also at 44,500. That means they are building a straddle here. This may not stay here. Probably this most likely to shift to 45,000 tomorrow or day after. Right? So this will not stay here. So basically support is here. So which is a good sign in terms of Bank Nifty also. Rating is 110% or about 1.1 CR rating happened on the bullish side and about 58 lakhs building on the bearish side. So when it comes to demand and supply imbalances, it is in favor of bulls only. So technically bullish, data-wise bullish, concern remains risk reward. Fin Nifty more or less, yes, Fin Nifty showed a very comfortable sign much earlier than Bank Nifty also. So Fin Nifty is decent enough, bullish, pretty decent. Buy on dips. So my support right now should be 19,900. Worst case 19,800. So as long as Fin Nifty stays above 19,800, we're still good to go on the buying side. So having said this, right? So even last week before I met, I was saying bullish as long as 18,700 is safe. Any dips to 18,700 will be a buying opportunity. So even not last week, even before that week also, we were bullish. We were expecting this to happen. So Bank Nifty 43,700 is not broken. So I expect Bank Nifty to touch 44,200. And anyways, we had a bullish to sideways view and Nifty bullish view clean. The trades are in our favor. Right now, what I have to say this is bullish, 19,000 is the support. Dips to 19,000 is a buying opportunity. Right? Current scenario, risk to reward, not favorable for immediate buy. Immediate buy. Bank Nifty, I would say no doubts, bullish. 44,500 to 44,200 is support zone. Any dips to that level is again a buying opportunity. Pin Nifty, ditto. But the support zone is 19,800 is the support area where we could assume long. This is the thing which I see from the index. To support this, if you look at S&P 500 also, it is making a new high. S&P 500, it made a new high. We had a breakout and we are making a 52-week high on S&P 500. All-time high is quite far away, but we managed to make a new high in this particular last couple of months. So it is a pretty good sign. So there is no concerns with S&P. Dow Jones, more or less, yes, it also should look the same. So US market is not a threat. Okay, now the concern is we are at resistance. S&P has broken the resistance. This is yet to break the resistance, but I think the structure is in favor of buying only. This is a continuation pattern, which is an inverted head and shoulder pattern. This is a complex inverted head and shoulder pattern. Head and shoulder pattern need not be a trend reversal. It can also act as a trend continuation pattern. I think in this case, it is a trend continuation pattern. So this most likely to give a upside breakout. So there is nothing to worry about from the US markets. From DAX, Germany, something is cooking up in Europe, some riots. So structure is absolutely bullish. We still make higher highs and higher lows. We still see markets comfortably breaking resistances. Golden crossover is there. RSI range rules are absolutely bullish. So DAX is good. France, what is happening? Some riots are happening. So we have to look at what is happening in France, which is CAC. CAC 40. DAX. Yeah. Here. Structure looks still bullish, so nothing to worry in terms of France index also. Almost every other index is also looking good. If this is the case, then gold should not be very strong. So gold is anyways not strong. So inverse relationship that we also look at is happening. So this is also there. So the weakness in gold is visible. Good thing is equity markets are absolutely good. So having said this, we will have to look at buying or bullish opportunities. Last 2 weeks back, what we were looking at was this. Bank of Baroda, 190 and above. Finance sector, we were bullish. HDFC Life and ICICI Lombard, we were very, very bullish. So I think these two stocks gave a fantastic returns last couple of days. HDFC Life. See this? So this is what we picked up on 17th June. HDFC Life and ICICI Lombard insurance companies. I think from June 17th, we had seen a fantastic rally in HDFC Life. Still continues to look good. But on dips, ICICI Lombard, General Insurance, even this has given a pretty decent return. So insurance companies are doing good. SBI Life as well. Even this is doing well. We are at resistance, so some halt can be expected. But insurance companies we picked up quite a long time back, which is doing well. We had Bank of Baroda, Reliance, IRCTC, Bank of Baroda. Bank of Baroda did perform, and then some dip was there. 190 and above we were expecting. So from 190 it touched almost What was the price? 196, 197. So it gave 4-5% returns, and then there was a correction here. So again, we are at a support area only. So there is no change in the structure. Structure is still decent enough. Reliance Industries, we were bullish 2 weeks back. It is doing well. Structure looks good. Constantly price finding support at this long-term moving average. Higher highs or higher lows are seen. We have seen RSI in a bullish range with some positive setups on RSI as well. So still good. Reliance is good. So Reliance is doing well. I'll continue to hold on to that. IRCTC it gave a breakout, but it immediately gave up is what I saw. Let me look at the chart. Yeah. So IRCTC, it gave a breakout, but again, then there was a dip, but the structure is still looking on the upside only. So maybe tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, we might see some recovery on this. This did not work out as expected, IRCTC. BPCL, I picked up a little bit of stocks in my portfolio. I am at break-even levels. I bought it here. So I'm close to break-even only. It went up and then there was a dip, but Reliance is also performing. So more or less the structure is still good because we are constantly finding same support. So as long as support is held, I'll hold on to the position. So no changes into BPCL. It might turn sideways. It may not give immediate money, but nonetheless, everything looks good. TV18. TV18, there was a up move after June 17th, and then we are still holding on to this level. So it is more or less at the same level where we picked up, or maybe 1 or 2%, or maybe little down. Structure still positive. There is no need to worry about structure because still I see higher highs, higher lows. Old support are still holding up. So worst case, we might see 35, but still looking good. HUL, I'm watching very closely. Hindustan Unilever. It is yet to give that breakout which I was expecting. If you see HUL, if 2630 is sustained, I expect HUL to break out the multi-year high. 2630. I think this dip, if you see, it came to 2630, and then we are bouncing off. Structure still positive. It is testing the patience, but let's hold on. It is worth testing, but 2630, it supported. So this is still good, and I'll still continue to watch that. Marico, Tata Consumer, most of those stocks we had were actually bullish. Yeah, the structure is still good. We are finding support at this level. So I'm going to, RSI is also at a very decent support here. So structure has not changed. So structure is still looking good to me. Pharma Biz gave a fantastic returns. I think we had Pharma Healthcare, we had put in red. I think if you see most promising returns that we expected last 2 weeks was actually from Pharma. I had put in red with 4 stars. I think most of them have been fantastic. Biocon. See this? Biocon. Look at the structure. I was saying that, see this consolidation here, it's sideways. I'm watching this very closely. I think yesterday it gave a fantastic breakout, 8% yesterday alone. Biocon, if it sustains above 235 for bullish view to stay intact, above 250, we would expect a good move. 235 was my level. I think the dips sustain above. See the low that we, after June 17, the low that we saw was actually 234.8. My consideration was 235. So it touched 235. Above 250, I said you'll see a blast, good move. So 250, it broke yesterday. Yesterday only it has given you 8% return. So Biocon is good. It is back. So levels that I was wondering or considering for up move did work out. So Biocon will be a fantastic bet for us. So I'll watch Biocon. Tomorrow I'll start putting some money on it slowly into the spot cash market. I'll start buying something into my portfolio. Divis structure is still good. My only concern is divergences here. But as long as 3453, this support is supported, we will still see an up move from here. Structure has not changed. Natco Pharma I put in yellow, saying that this might give a pretty good returns. Look at this, Natco 650 plus is what I'm expecting. 650 broke this week, Monday. Fantastic move that we have expected after that. So this is doing well. Pharma, good structure we had. This worked out. Metropolis Healthcare. Metropolis Healthcare was almost stock we were looking at. We were looking at 1400 and above. I think 1400 crossed and we are doing well. So this is looking good to me. So all these stocks are fantastic. So our pharma healthcare have given fantastic returns. Bajaj HC. Bajaj, what was that? Bajaj HC meaning? Hindustan. What is that? HC is Hindustan?
Healthcare. Bajaj Healthcare.
Healthcare. This one, right? Bajaj Healthcare.
Yeah.
Yes, it is coming up, sir. I like the structure. Sooner or later, you will see this breakout happening. Structure is good. Strides. STRIDES strides. Strides pharma. Decent move. So pharma healthcare was the one which I was very upbeat about because of I marked it as red. It has given fantastic returns. So Biocon is fresh breakout. National Aluminium, it is not sustaining above 87. It is still struggling. Tata Steel, slowly moving. So metal sector, it is slowly performing. So I am keeping a small investment I made in Tata Steel around 113, 114 levels. Structure is still good. Structure is still good because old resistance is still becoming support. This long-term moving average support. There was a pin bar here, if you see here. Pin bar suggesting that there was some buying that has happened. Structure of RSI is also positive. Range rules of RSI positive. So momentum, price, everything is positive. So this is still good for me. National Aluminium, above 87 was I was considering, but it's still struggling to cross 87 very comfortably. So not very convincingly it is breaking. So I'm watching this. Above 87 it should be good. So it has not broken 87 so far. So I'm still watching. So I'm still watching this. Otherwise, pharma was fantastic. Having said this, Bharat, what shall we do given a quick movement or a good movement in most of the sectors? So what is a roadmap for this week in terms of stock selection? How do we do it? What I've done is I have developed a couple of tools for that to make my life easier. This is the sector returns which I look at. So here, what I've done is I have tried to segregate the sector, strong sector. I'll put a status here, strong. If it is a weak sector, I'll anyway say it is weak. So now, if I have to buy, I have to buy from a strong sector. So which is a strong sector? These few 6, 7 are strong sectors. Now let me look at strong sectors first. Nifty Realty. In Nifty Realty, if you click on this one, you will be able to see the stocks which are in Nifty Realty and which is strong, which is weak. Now Godrej Properties seems to be strong. DLF is weak. That is what my way of looking at the chart says. Now if I look at Godrej Properties, no doubt it is bullish, but there is a divergence here. And there is the difference between this short-term, long-term moving average is quite high. So it doesn't give me a favorable risk reward to invest anywhere here. So I would expect to buy. Though bullish, I will say no. DLF, anyways, it is weak. No need to look at. But if you want to see, DLF seems to be okay. Now it took support. It was falling. So that's why it came to weak. I think if I pick this up here at 490, my stop loss is too far away, around 469, 470. So is it, I cannot go and my risk reward doesn't permit to take such a big stop loss in futures or options. Worst case, I would probably look at buying. But if I buy here, my stop loss is huge. I have an immediate resistance sitting here. So I would give it a pass. I'm not very convinced about buying here. So I'll just give it a pass. Let's find something else. If not, then we'll relook into DLF. Pharma, anyways, pharma was strong. Aro Pharma, Biocon, Dr. Reddy, Biocon we looked at. Fantastic. So I'll continue to keep Biocon in my list. I like Biocon. After a very, very long time, Biocon has given a breakout. You have to understand the structure of Biocon also. Biocon was actually in a bearish mode for quite a long time. See this? Now, if I draw a weekly chart on this, there was a bearish trend line. So the trend line is still far away. But this is the first time we saw the price closing above this long-term moving average on a weekly chart. After last time we saw was in 2022 April, about a year back. Now we are seeing the same thing. Not only that, if I see volumes here, volumes are extraordinary. If I go to a daily chart, look at the price breakout, look at the moving average, golden crossover, look at the price finding support at the long-term moving average, look at the volume is fantastic, momentum, fantastic, 75 plus. Bharat, can I buy here? Probably with this volume, with this momentum, I think there's one more up move and then probably some kind of a correction. So that is what I see here because of that kind of move. Otherwise, consolidation here. So 3-4 days of consolidation, about 250, 260, and then one more up is what I see because it is overextended where this kind of overextension, it will show one more green candle because of the amount of buying that we have seen, or not a dip, but you will see consolidation about 250, 260. So now what I would see in DLF, 250 is a support area for me. All right, support area. So I would want to consider around
ಅವ್ರ ಮನೇಲಿ ತಂದು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಪಾವ್ ಬಜಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತೀಯಲ್ಲ ಅವಳು
right. So I would love to see Biocon here. Biocon is very, 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 very good chart. And it is a multi. After a very long time, I'm seeing resistance breakout. Very, very long time. So on a daily chart, we have also broken short-term, long-term trend lines also, not short-term. Long-term trend lines are also broken. So trend line break, higher highs, higher lows, golden crossover, volumes good, momentum good, volatility is also good. So we have price, moving averages. Moving averages are also a derivative of price. So price confirmation, volume confirmation, momentum, volatility, all four confirmation is there. Biocon will be in my list. Ready is strong. Dr. Reddy. There's quite a distance, quite a travel here, Dr. Reddy. I would wait. For me, it is not favorable right now. RSI at 80 levels, I don't consider position there. Glenmark, I am holding. I am sitting on 26% on Glenmark. Glenmark Pharma. Not now. I think some dips are pretty decent to consider. Lupin and Torrent Pharma both are strong. Lupin. Oh my God, quite a distance. Quite a distance. Lupin, Torrent Pharma. My risk reward is not very favorable. That's a problem with pharma stocks. So pharma stocks were pretty decent 2 weeks back, not now. Cipla, DV, Sun Pharma, let's consider quickly, though they are weak, but let's give it a try. Cipla is decent enough. Okay, this sector, what it does is the stocks which are usually outperforming, that will be considered as strong. The rest are though bullish. If it is not outperforming, it will not pick it up here. So there is a different way of filtering this. Though bullish, if the performance, let's say bullish meaning what? Let's say if you put money into Biocon, if it gives you 8%, if you put into Cipla, it may give you 3%. So if the performance is not there compared to this, I will put it as weak. That is how it is. That's how the math is written there. DV's lab. See this? It is bullish. Structure is bullish, but it figures out to be a weak stock because it is not outperforming. Outperformance is there, should be there to come to into this table. That is how I have written the math. Sun Pharma. Sun Pharma, now it is picking up. All right. Sun Pharma, I will keep a watch, very close watch, because we are close to this all-time high. A dip will most likely to come, because even if it rallies, it will be a trap. It will be a bullish trap. So I would wait for it to. So I would probably consider Sun Pharma, not now. Sun Pharma, 1000 to 1020 seems to be a decent levels to consider. Sun Pharma. So bullish are Sun Pharma and Biocon, which are decent enough to consider. Rest, I will give it a pass. So Pharma done. FMCG, quite a number of stocks are strong. Britannia, Colpol. Britannia, I think we picked up Britannia quite a long time back. What has happened now in Britannia now? Let's see. Quite a distance, sir. We considered somewhere here, if you remember, around 4376. Now I'll wait. I don't want to consider right away. Colgate Palmolive, Godrej CP. Decent enough. Volumes are also there in these green candles. Red candles do not have volume. I'll keep a watch on Colgate. $1,720 plus. So Godrej CP, ITC, Godrej Consumer. It was good 2 days back. No, but still this is a short-term consolidation pattern. Right, a short-term consolidation pattern. So could be expected. Volumes are also picking up here. Should be good. Godrej CP. They should be good. ITC, Nestle, Tata Consumer. ITC, no comments. Let it give some kind of a consolidation like this. That is what I see. So some consolidation like this, and then it is ready for a next up move. Consumer. That's a flag that I see. Price volume structure looks good. Straight up. And then I see a consolidation in this. Black pattern with volumes are also. So it looks good, but I would need a breakout above this 870, 874. But by the time it gives a breakout, it will be RSA at 70, 75. I think I'll wait for a while before I pick it up. McDowell's Spirits. Spirits, if you remember, we considered Spirits here only. Somewhere here, yeah. This candle is where we considered decent enough, but not now. Not immediately. Dabur, HUL, anyways, we are following HUL. HUL needs a close watch. UBL is weak. I think if you remember, I was looking at UBL, Unit Beverage. I've taken a small position there in Unit Beverage into my spot cash market. So I think the structure is still intact for me. The structure is still intact for a very simple reason. See, this candle that you saw here, We call it an elephant candle, huge candle. And this elephant candle low is not broken. That means whoever has created this candle, they are still defending the position. Structure, even if you see within this structure, there are higher highs and higher lows are happening here. And we have a structure on positive reversal, which we call some positive reversals here. So that is still looking good to me. I think it is just a matter of time. You will see 1520 and above. So I will hold on to UBL 1520 yellow. My entry price is same. So I'm at the entry only. My entry was somewhere here. So hardly small profit I've made. So 1520 and above, this will start flying again. So structure is good. So I'll watch closely UBL. Structure looks good. 1520 and above, it start performing again. Auto only two stocks are strong, which are Ashok and Tata Motors. Ashok Leyland. Yes, but is it worth taking now? If it is a cash portfolio, fine. If it is future and options, you need a lot of what do you call timing requirement. If you're doing in cash, this is okay. Cash is okay, but I am not looking at any F&O considerations. I'm not considering F&O here. If it is not an F&O, it is cash. Yes, it is good, decent enough. Tata Motors. Tata Motors. Oh my God, I cannot pick it up here. Right, rest all weak, says. Let me look at quickly Maruti. Oh yeah, Maruti is good. See, as long as I still see price trading above this long-term moving average, is still good. Maruti, I have to look at bigger structure. Bigger structure also looking very decent. I think it's on a verge of a breakout. I'll keep this very close, Maruti. I'll keep it very, very close, Maruti, because it is on the verge of a giving up all-time high breakout. It is very close. Very good. Looks good. Maruti looks good to me. Maruti, Eicher, Escorts. It is there where it has to start picking up. Structure is good. I love this than Maruti, as in I love both, but this is at a very decent risk. So risk is very, very decent here. So my risk is very low. 3478 is my risk. So what was this? Eicher. Eicher looks better. So Eicher I like. So my risk is only below 1000 because there is a gap also here. So 3468 should be the support area. So 3468 is sustained. I would expect it to move. So 3468 should be protected here. So it looks good. This actually looks better in terms of risk reward than Ashok Leyland. So good structure. Escorts. This is also good. Escorts. All auto sector look good. Auto sector is good. Escorts good. Hero H. Hero Motor Car. So more or less every auto sector stock looking very decent. And this will be 52-week high breakout kind of Hero Motor. Yes, sir. Hero Motor, TVS, the one Bajaj Auto. I would consider Escorts or Eicher Motors. Hero is Mahindra and Mahindra. Mahindra, I think the very first session which I did, I picked it up. So if you take this only, 20th May, see this Maruti, Mahindra and Mahindra. 1200 was the stop loss and my entry was immediate. So somewhere here only, 20th May, here, yeah. So this is anyways going on from quite a long time. So since a month, I'm anyways bullish on these stocks. So any small dips, you have to see once a trend is set, it will give a good returns. Godrej Properties, all these stocks have been considering for later. So dips is where I'll start looking at buying. So there's a fresh breakout, a small kind of a pennant pattern here. The fresh breakout has happened. So everything looks good to me. I don't know which one to pick is a concern for me. Selecting a certain stock is a concern, given the scenario. So I would say auto sector itself looking pretty good for me. So rather than doing stock wise, Eicher Motors is very decent. Rather than stock wise, I think we can probably do some sector investment on it directly. M&M, yeah, more or less seems to be decent. Almost all the stocks seems to be decent in auto also. FMCG, pharma we looked at, realty we looked at. FMCG, yes. Auto we looked at, yes. Mid cap, same thing. Ashok Leyland, we considered Aerofirm, we considered Bata. I think Bata, we were considering quite a long time back, if somebody remembers. Bata India, where I think somewhere here or somewhere 3rd June, I was considering Bata here. See here, 1520 and above. We've seen a pretty good move. So these are all stocks which are doing fantastic. Bata is good. Biocon is good. Cummins India, let's look at Cummins India. I can't consider anything now. Okay, Escorts we looked at, Godrej Properties we looked at, IDFC Bank has already gone up quite a bit. Lupin, it's all repetition because these are also part of sectors, so it becomes a repetition for me. PFC, REC, we look at PLN is part of again Pyramid Enterprise, again part of pharma. PFC, Power Finance Corporation. So these all run up quite a bit, sir. Cash market is fine, but F&O, see, I'm not considering F&O in this particular session because it becomes very difficult to look into F&O. F&O comes with a lot of risk. MFSL. Entry is late, delayed entry. Eicher we looked at, sir. Eicher, I'm pretty happy with Eicher. Yeah. Eicher, I'm happy with Eicher. I already told that. So FMCG more or less the same thing, reputation. Rest all weak, so I will give it a pass. Small cap, 3 stocks are strong. Exide, Glenmark, already discussed. Manappuram Finance, Exide Industries, again part of auto. So Exide Industries, quite a distance it has done, so I cannot. Manappuram. Sometimes if the risk reward is not favorable, I would just give it a pass. Let's wait, let's take some time and then reconsider the thing. I think this Manappuram Finance is on the verge of a breakout of a long consolidation. I think as long as it stays above 122, it is good. Manappuram 120 and above it should be good. So I think we looked at almost all the things. banking, it's all HDFC Bank. After a long time, I think I posted yesterday a small video. HDFC Bank. It will not break immediately, so it will take a pause here because of overextension in whatsoever. HDFC Limited also same thing. I think it was going along with HDFC because of the merger, whatever news that we are seeing. So banks are decent, but HDFC Bank, HDFC Twins, we have to fresh longs here only above this breakout. We are at resistance area. So whenever we're at resistance area, I do not want to take any chances buying here because 4 times there was a failure. See, last time, so we are at a failure area. So I don't want to take any long positions around here where there is a resistance area. So I would wait. Looks good, but I would wait. ICICI Bank, not looking great. We need this line to be broken. So give it time. Axis Bank. Axis Bank is good. Axis Bank is good. Axis Bank is good. Kotak and Indus Bank, let's look at it and then we'll. Kotak Bank structure is not. It'll have a lot of struggles. IndusInd Bank was actually good 2-3 days back. Yeah, we missed the bus. It has managed to break out. So in the cash, yes. Cash looks good, yes. Yes, sir. I think this is what I would probably consider is more or less more than enough to watch out. A very close watch is the one which I have marked in yellow. Or the very close watch. IT Infosys went up 3% yesterday. But overall structure is still not very convincing for me to put any money on this. Structure looks good. I'm not saying it's bad. Structure looks really good. No doubt. Infosys has given a breakout after a long time. There are very good outperforming stocks right now. Why would I consider this? TTK Prestige Gillette. Yes, sir. Looks good. If you really want to take consider Infosys, yes, you can consider. But I have better stocks to consider, which are breaking multi-year high versus it is still struggling to make a bottom. So immediate returns is, for me, is in those stocks than this. Momentum is there. TTK Prestige looks very, very good, sir. I like this setup. I like this setup. TTK Prestige and one more was Gillette and Jubilant Food Works. Gillette is again part of FMCG, Gillette India. Yeah, this is also good. This is also good. Good volume spikes happening. Quite a good base. Gillette is also good, but I think this is cash only, so no F&O. So for me, as long as it stays above 4,700, it is still a good sector stock to consider. So Gillette is also good, no doubts. But immediate looks to me is TDK Prestige. TDK Prestige has a very good risk to reward. So Jubilant Foodworks, sector stock setup, everything looks good. Above 5,657, yes. Jubilant Food above 505, yes, looks good, no doubts. Cash stock, Quantum Papers. Okay, Quantum, what is this stock? KAUN. Okay, got that. Quantum papers. A fresh breakout has happened, sir. Yes, it is good. It is good. It was good rather than this. So I think this is part of small cap, mid cap. Small cap, mid cap are doing pretty decent. Yes, it is good. But again, there is possibility of dip here because of overextension in momentum indicators. But plus, yes. The one marked in yellow are pretty decent now. All right, sir. Anything else? Good amount of stocks. Don't be very, very aggressive. Consider that market has given a good run in the last couple of days. So best that we wait for dips, but the stocks which are in yellow seems to be having a better risk reward compared to others. The overall market is good, but I would probably look into these stocks because of my risk to reward ratio. So we will continue to have bullish view. Nifty, Bank Nifty levels are given. So that's a good number of stocks that we have. All right, sir. Any questions before we conclude? Next week, I'll show you a different way of stock selection because this alpha returns that I look at, this probably will give you entry. Biocon, it gave you entry yesterday, 266, it gave you an entry price. Stop loss is 244. So it picked up Biocon, Cummins it picked up, Divis it picked up, Godrej. So it will pick up the stocks on its own. It will mention the date, it will mention the entry price, it will give you a stop loss, it will trail the stop loss. So this tentative exit will give you initial stop loss and then it will keep trailing the stop loss. And once if the exit has happened, it will give you exit and percentage return. So basically this will give you the stock, this will give you an entry, this will give you a stop loss, this gives almost everything for you. Escorts we discussed, Kavita. Escort is also decent enough. All auto sector is looking good. I had, considering escorts, I would look at iShares than escorts. Yes, entire auto sector is good, no doubts. So this kind of gives you a stock also. See, last time it gave PFC, MFS, HDFC, all are sitting with 2%, 4%, 5% returns. PFC, MFSL gave an exit also here. Exit price is here. Right now, PL, it gave an exit with 7% returns. REC, it gave 6% returns. Siemens, it is still holding, no exit has happened. It is right now sitting at 2% returns. Asian Paints, 3.85% returns. Manappuram, 7.5%. Exit has not happened yet. If it exit happens, we would have given an exit price here. So exit has not happened. So Manappuram already triggered on 23rd. Muttu triggered on 23rd. Naukri triggered on 23rd. So a lot of stocks, they already triggered a buy. Ambuja Cement, there was a loss of 3.77%. So profit loss, everything will happen. But it will give you stock which are outperforming Nifty. It will give you an entry price, stop loss, almost everything is done. So whatever somebody as a trader or investor wants to consider, everything is given. I'll focus on this probably next week because almost time's up. So I'll focus on this and a couple of other features are coming. This is also a very good feature. Probably one of the meetings I'll discuss this also. Very, very decent, very, very good considerations I've done to pull these stocks into this portfolio. Let's see. So next 2 weeks, I'll discuss a couple of the features of this app so that you will not miss out on what kind of apps that I've developed. All right. Any questions or can we conclude? So hold on to a bullish stance. Auto, pharma, healthcare looks good. All right, then. If no questions, I think we'll conclude and we'll meet next week. Right? Thank you.
Thank
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.